Hello everyone! We are back with another day of strategic non-compliance. Unfortunately, Mike Bluehair can't be with us today. Had to lock him in a closet for a little bit. No, I'm joking. Actually, no, he had a legal appointment he had to deal with, so that's he wouldn't be able to get back in time to be part of tonight's strategic non-compliance. But, as is, I decided, after he let me know about the thing, it was sort of a last-minute thing that happened. He's like, hey, yo, do I need to get anybody? I was like, no, don't worry. We got plenty of stuff that we want to talk about. And also, I want to get your guys' input on how things have been going so far with strategic non-compliance, what you guys think and all that stuff. Yeah, as is, it's been quite the busy week. That has been for sure. I'm cracking myself a soda. I was out and about running errands earlier today, and boy, that was fairly tiring with the amount of miles I keep putting on a bike, that's for sure. But it's helped me lose weight and get exercise and all that stuff, though I hurt as hell. But don't worry, I'll be ready for the, hopefully, on my channel's Saturday Night Bar Hop, especially with it being St. Patrick's Day. And as is, you know what? If you guys want to get involved in maybe having a voice chat with me, I have Discord up and ready to go kind of thing. And you know what? I know Mike Bluehair's channel does not have that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and post that into his chat for those that might want to have a chance to hop in there. But if you guys get into the Discord server and hang around in the public voice chat area, I'll pull you guys in one at a time. And we can chat about the various things. But tonight, we got a few things to discuss. I think that you guys will find interesting. Connor's Blog, we are pretty much, I'm going to go over some topics that me and Mike Bluehair, we talked about in the past that we wanted to talk about. There's also a few things I wanted to bring up that I wanted to do yesterday, but stuff just didn't work out time-wise. I was going to do a live stream yesterday. And it's a very important message for, like, maybe personal protection, safety, and then about some laws and stuff like that. Let's see, we got lots of chatting going on here. Let me check my, make sure I got everything's working right on these chats. So, yep, it looks like that's working right. That's working right. Did anybody make comments over here? Okay, no one's making comments over there. Okay, no one. Yeah, as is, chat's been a little bit funky every now and then, at least on my side, because it will not show every single person. Chat. Yeah, Mike is Mike is not in compliance. Yeah, he's not in compliance. He's not. He's strategically non-compliant today with the things that are going on. And also, today's opening music was by Techno Axe as usual. And we might as well go ahead and open up with tonight's starting thing. So I get that one updated, and let me hit the editor over here so I can make it display on this one. There we go. As you can see, we got some stuff. And wait, oh! I just realized something. Hold on, guys. One of my chats are not working properly. What is going on here? Oh, nope. There we go. And I fixed that. What's going on here? Why is that chat not working? Hold on, guys. I just realized Slops wasn't working right. Oh, there we go. Okay, Slops is working properly. There we go. Excellent. Okay. So I fixed the chat issue being embedded there. And I see we got time to stand in the chat and Womps, and I've been here. We got the usuals. There's Joshua Hayes. Yep. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get started with tonight's little thing. Someone sent me quite the interesting thing earlier this week. And
do enjoy that. Thank you so much.
Hold on. Okay, we got that jumping a little bit ahead of schedule here. But what happened was a few months back, Bashir Mohammed, this is their Twitter thing, they made this post. I've been debating sharing this video for the past few months. It is of Edmonton downtown police officer rushing me in an extremely aggressive way. The investigation into the officer's conduct was completed, so I feel comfortable talking about what led to this. Now, this is in Canada. Just to give everyone a heads up, this is over in Canada. They do have somewhat similar laws to what we have here. But this is going to be quite interesting.
Oh, thank you very much for videotaping. I appreciate that. Just so that you could record everything, I very much appreciate your citizens' approval of me. Thank you so much. I really do enjoy that. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
All right. Are you sorry? Are you sorry? Or are you leaving this area right now?
Am I okay?
Yeah, you can go right ahead and cross.
I'll wait.
But thank you so much for helping me out.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, are you finished?
2156.
2156.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now, as you can see, that cop was very super aggressive, very sarcastic with his comments, very unprofessional. Oh, thanks, Johnny, no last name, for being over on Twitch. And yeah, those that want to help me out on the Twitch, seeing if Twitch might be a viable revenue source for activists, give me a view over there, or listen, or something like that, or have a chance. So this way we can try to get that average view count for a 30-day period above 3. That's what I sort of need to get going. And hopefully, maybe Twitch will say, hey, you're popular enough to be an affiliate, and I can look at that contract and see what it entails and have all that stuff going. Yeah, I mean, every single person I can get the view from that side when I'm doing a live stream really helps out. I'm willing to take the hits. If you can only watch from one YouTube or Twitch or whatever, I'm willing to take the hits on YouTube side of things in order to raise the Twitch viewership numbers for the concurrent viewers. Edmonton hires foreign nationals. You don't have to be a Canadian citizen to join up. That's an interesting thing to know. News Now, Tennessee. But let us go ahead and continue reading down this. It was around 1 a.m. I went across the street to the 7-Eleven on Jasper and 100. Along the way, I saw a cop approaching a guy on a bench. He didn't seem well, and as I left, I noticed the officer was acting aggressive to this guy. And this raised red flags, and so I started filming. And I'm going to pause this right here. This is the thing, right here. If you see something that doesn't look right in a police interaction, pull out your smartphone and film it. Or if you got a camera, go ahead and, well, if you got a camera, record it with that, too. How do you get over to Twitch? In the description on the YouTube thing, there is a link to the Twitch account. So, topic suggestion: wearing a scarf or mask perfectly lawful in some states. That is true. That's dependent on states. But let's go ahead and get with the continuation here. But it gets more interesting with this. I stood a fair distance away and only have one verbal exchange with the cop. Basically, he tells me I'm not allowed to film. This is inaccurate, but he, for whatever reason, insists I'm not allowed to. I continue filming.
Yeah, it's okay, but you do realize...
It's okay if I stand here?
Yeah, it's okay, but you do realize that you're videotaping him, right?
It's public.
No, but he hasn't given you permission for him to be videotaped.
I'm able to videotape publicly.
You're able to videotape public places, but if you videotape him, you have to ask permission.
No, that's not the law.
That is actually.
And the guy that's filming is correct. It is not the law. If it's a public area, you're able to film, and the people in it, it works very similar to here in the United States on that issue. And so, as is, we got the cop trying to say one thing that is very wrong. The cop then arrests the guy and places him in the back of the van. When he then walks around to the passenger side, slams the door, and rushes me. This caught me off guard. His tone was extremely aggressive. He forced me to walk back about 5 meters. And that's the officer's face. He continues. What do you think I would think would happen if I stood my ground? Would I have been thrown to the ground? Arrested? Would my phone have been taken away? Notice how I put my hand between my phone and him. He only seems to stop when 2 other officers show up. And he's got another screenshot here. One of the cops seems to recognize me. Oh, hey, I know this guy. I look at him and say, that's pretty messed up, right? He looks back and says, don't talk to me. I cross the street and notice them talking a few minutes together. Another little picture. I was pretty shook up. The cop's actions were an abuse of power and were meant to intimidate, well, he's probably meant intimidate me. Thankfully, I had the officer's badge number and decided to file a formal complaint. So I did, and I waited a few weeks for the first call from professional standards. What is the meters to foot conversion? If you want a quick estimate, 3 feet is 1 meter. It is off by about, I think, 3 inches, but if you want just a quick conversion, 3 feet equals 1 meter. Let's see here. Continue on. Whoops. Okay, did I miss something? Okay. I was pretty shook up. The cops' actions were an abuse of power, they admit, so I waited a few weeks. Okay. Okay, if I click on it, it makes it bigger. There we go. That makes it a lot better. I'm learning a few things with it. Just over 3 feet. Yeah, it's pretty close. I spoke to the internal investigator, and they heavily encouraged me not to go through with a formal complaint process. They say it'll take too long, but one option available is alternative disrupt resolution. I was pretty drained at that point and decided to do it. I waited for a month and got a call from the officer's supervisor. We met up, and he tells me that the way the officer acted was unacceptable, and he gave him a warning. That was noted on his personal file. He also told me the officer transferred to a 2 traffic division. He was just as bad and corrupt as mayor cops. In general, any cop, any person that's involved in law enforcement where they're going to have a little bit more power or more power over another person has the potential for abuse and corruption. It's always going to be there. This is why, in order to ensure that our government's looking out for our best interests, we have to be eternally vigilant. At this point, I had the option of accepting this as the resolution or continue a formal complaint. I did not want to this hanging over me for another year or however long it took, so I signed the form that was that. And here is the specific form. Dear Mr. Mohammed, concluding citizens' complaint, thank you for bringing forward concerns about Edmonton Police Service. Citizens such as yourself who take the time to bring concerns forward and then work with us to resolve them play an important role in building and maintaining public confidence in the Edmonton Police Service. We thank you for your participation in the Alternative Disrupt Resolution, ADR. Through a supervisory review, your citizen complaint received on December 21st, 2017 is now considered to be concluded and resolved through an alternative dispute resolution via supervisory review. Within the professional standards, we have received your signed complaint resolution from indicative that your concerns involving the December 1st, 2017 have been resolved to your satisfaction. In the event that you or have any further questions, please contact blah 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 Professional Standards of Branch, Edmonton Police Force. Check Stanford Prison Experiment. Yeah, that is very true. And thank you for the follows. Spitshine78. Nice name. I like it. Before I left, the supervisor told me to be careful filming officers in the future, since they don't know if I may attack them. Personally, I regret nothing not going through with the full investigation, but the emotional labor would have been too much. Now, that statement right there is a big concern. We are already seeing that they're starting to pull. We're concerned for our personal safety and for their kinds of stuff. You know what? I'm gonna need to add in another one. And oh, is Pod in here? Yeah, pissed off taxpayer. Hey, pissed off taxpayer. Let's see here. Will this continue on? At least this incident is noted on his file, and I hope that he never does this again. Unfortunately, I've heard similar instances of intimidation happening to other black youth in Edmonton since then. Yet their stories are often ignored or dismissed. Thankfully, I had this on camera, but the question remains: would police or the public have believed me if this wasn't on film? Now, here's the deal. When we go out there and cop watch, we go out there and film, we are gathering evidence. Whether it's to vindicate, to ensure things are going properly, or to possibly prosecute. That video, that action that you're taking when you're standing by and you're watching, doing a cop watch, especially when you got an officer that's aggressive like that, it is very important. No for love for Twitch chat. Sorry, the chat might be going faster because I have a, how should I put it, a combined chat box that I'm looking at. Johnny, no last name. And so, right now, it only displays 3 or 4 chats, from, all the platforms. And if it scrolls by too fast, I might end up missing stuff. It's just how it happens. I was missing some comments from Mixer when I was covering the protest on Tuesday there. And I haven't really seen anything new on Mike Bluehair's side of things. Yeah, there hasn't really been any comments on that side. Okay, just making sure. So, turning the tables on them, Rich. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. But, well, let's go ahead and continue with this here. Unfortunately, I've heard, let's see here. And the thing is this is why, if you're going to have a police interaction, or you're going to watch a police interaction, film it, document it, record it, audio record it, at the minimum. These things are very important, because you never know when it's going to go south. Thankfully, most black people now have their own body cams in their pockets. Perhaps EPS should follow suit and implement body cams and cameras for their police cruisers. And then a link to anyone, and then stuff and asking for the questions. But this is quite the interesting story that is told here in these tweets. And I hope you understand. Let's see. Amir, your last live arrest, almost, someone mentioned copyright and I just dropped before it happened. I need to sit down and go over the specifics. The live streams in general, if you're clipping something, as long as it's not going over, like, I'm thinking 40% of the actual live stream length, it's good as long as you're giving proper attribution. But as I said, I gotta sit down and do a formal spit out of how I'm gonna handle the whole copyright kind of thing. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do that. I still gotta finish working on the Discord for mobile applications on Android, so people have that understanding. And then as soon as I get that done, I will be working on the copyright thing. I'm also in talks with not the greatest artist, but an artist nonetheless that can draw way better than I can, on helping me design another shirt that I think you guys are gonna love. Also, I got someone that's sent me. Silent Citizen sent me some information about some people that are wearing like body harnesses and stuff like that for like body cams that covers it. And so I'm gonna look at possibly maybe doing some design changes or upgrades or something like that to incorporate that issue into the shirt itself. The Second Amendment is still alive in America. Yeah, for the most part. There's a few states where it's like practically dead. But this sort of reminds me of another incident that actually would be very good. And I'm going to look it up right now, so give me a minute here. Let's see here. Actually, I need to do top. Let's see here. Past month. Let's see if I can find it. And I think this is it. Hold on, let me hit the... Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, so I'm gonna copy the link address and bring it over. And this one is going to be quite the interesting thing. And let's see here. Let me get the chat boxes back up here. So again, Silent Citizen, what's a word on that beer challenge? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. We should be getting an update on that. BBI, I'm an artist. If you need help, cool Michigan Meister. If you can get with me on like Twitter or Discord or something like that, I would have no problem talking with you. Maybe you might be able to help out with some other designs or something like that. So, hey, Worm Dragon. I think that's how, yeah, Worm or Raven Dragon. Ah, dang it, my Norse is bad. So, but it'll be when we get them done, done with them. Okay, so this is quite an interesting thing. This one's titled "Cop Tries to Stop Man from Recording Traffic Stop." This is actually from 2016. It's an old one, but I never saw it before. And I listened to this, and it was very telling.
Say hi. Why does everything have to take so long today?
Let me try to...
To make sure you're not calling more people over here.
Okay, here. Okay, this is where we need to start at.
For your safety,
Yes,
put my
you
phone
need to put
down.
your phone down, please. Just set it down on the seat.
Set it down on the seat.
Yes.
Like that? Is that good?
I want you to set it down face up. I want to make sure you're not calling more people over here that will compromise my safety. Okay, set it down face up. Face up. I want to see the screen the whole time because I want to make sure you're not calling people here.
It's gonna be like this. It's fine like that. Thank you.
Squad 369, can I get one more card, please? If you continue not to listen to me, I'm going to have to take you out of the car.
Babe,
That'll be illegal.
please,
No, it won't.
can you
Yes,
please-
it would be.
Here's the thing. When it comes to being pulled out of a vehicle, if they cite on camera beforehand or whatever, or if nothing's said beforehand and it goes to court, they can cite police safety as the reason to pull passengers out of a vehicle. So keep that in mind. There's a case law on this. I have to look it up again. That covers this. If you go and check out the Am I Free to Go wiki page that I got on the sidebar, they have that in there. If you want to look that up before I have a chance to even talk about it, I do need to do it. He did go around to businesses and threaten them. Okay. Oh, wow. I did not know about that one, Beware Mouse. That's quite an interesting thing about Morro Bay. Okay, come on. There we go.
Why? So I can turn it off and they can do something?
The guy back here is being uncooperative. He keeps pointing his cell phone on me and recording it. So I told him to put it down, face
It's right
up.
here.
Like,
Notice how he sat there and said, he keeps pointing his cell phone at me and recording it. This cop is more afraid of the actual action of recording than the issue of safety, really. He doesn't want to be recorded. There is a big issue here if he doesn't want to be recorded. That signals all kinds of red flags.
like if he's not trying to call someone, he won't do it.
Call someone. We just can you give us the ticket? If that's what it's gonna be.
Hand your phone to one of those officers out there.
Nope, I'm not gonna do that.
Babe.
Do you know this guy in the back car?
Yes,
Back in your car?
it's
I'm
my
just
boyfriend.
recording for my safety and for everyone's safety.
Tell him he doesn't need to do
Is
this.
there a problem?
But why is there such
You
an
guys have
issue
body
if she
cameras?
has a...
The camera's
Okay.
on right now.
Okay,
How
so
many-
why...
That's fine, I'm gonna leave it.
And this was in St. Paul. Now keep in mind that there was a big huge blow up last year over in St. Paul with rioting. Well, actually it was last winter. It pretty much right around this same time frame.
Is there such a big issue if he has his phone?
I'm not gonna hand you my property.
Okay, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know what you're doing with your phone.
What?
I'm
And
recording.
until you comply with us, I'm going to keep asking you, and we're
I'm
going to keep going down
recording.
this road.
That's not illegal,
Going
officer.
on?
That's not illegal.
Okay, well, it is right now.
No,
I'm asking
it's
you
not illegal, officer.
because I don't.
Thank you, Alberta Aardvark. Pennsylvania v. Mims is the case that he's saying, and I'm pretty sure that is actually the actual proper case law. So, this is not an auditor. This is just some random person who was involved in a traffic stop. And this goes to show you, you don't have to be an auditor or a cop watcher to catch something on film of an officer doing wrongdoing.
I don't know what you're doing with your phone.
I'm recording. That's what I'm doing.
getting annoyed because
I'm recording. That's what I'm doing.
Is this your car?
yes,
Are you the registered owner?
yeah,
Did you just buy it?
yeah.
Do you have your permission to just put his phone on the
No,
hook? Just
don't.
continue
You
with
don't
the
have
traffic
permission.
stop,
No.
please? This is your car. If you're not up to any, no good.
Dave, take some blood pressure medication. Maybe you might want to get one of the squeezy balls and start squeezing it to release that that stress there, man. Don't let it boil your blood, man. Your blood's boiling, isn't it?
I don't
say
know
no.
what's going
Just tell them
on. Why
no,
is
they
it
don't have
turning
permission.
into this? I don't know.
Because of his behavior back here.
Because
Why?
they're-
Because he's videotaping
Yes, it's a
you?
routine traffic stop, and I don't know what.
What are you afraid of?
He said he's telling you that he is recording
Okay,
you.
but listen to me. Just please listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, we're listening.
I have no idea if he's broadcasting that live, and if he is, that's compromising everyone's safety.
We're not
here.
broadcasting it
I don't
live.
know that.
Okay, so live streaming is compromising everybody's safety at that present time. No, it doesn't. It does not. They probably don't even know where the hell that location's at. I don't think they stated anywhere their exact location. But yeah, as is, I'm afraid if you call and come out. Yeah, as is, they're trying to find reasons to continue the detention and all that stuff. It's really bad.
Okay? And that's why we need to get the phone away from him while the traffic stop is on, and then we'll be good to go from there.
You can't take my
have
phone.
the phone back as soon as we're done. I just don't want that going on because I have no idea who's watching that video right now. I have no idea.
I don't
understand where I'm
It's
coming
not
from?
illegal for him to record you, though. Is it illegal?
It is not illegal, but what I'm
Okay,
telling you is
Okay, then,
compromising our
so
safety
if it's
while
not
we're here.
illegal, so why is it a problem if it's not illegal?
I just explained to you why. Because I have no idea why you would do that. That's not.
Why?
Because people are
Are
getting
you kidding
shot
me?
at
You know how many
routine
black
traffic
people are
stops.
getting shot?
He has nothing to do with this. He's just
How many?
sitting here.
It's on the news. It's on the news.
Okay, can we
Who
just
got shot today? I don't know.
go?
Right, nobody.
Can we
Well,
please?
I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it that way.
We're just trying to do a job, bro. And
Okay.
Can you guys relax?
I'm gonna need.
He's not.
I'm gonna need.
But you guys get the idea with this specific case here. I mean, this incident. I'm going to go ahead and add this into the description real fast before I forget. But yeah, it's quite the interesting thing. BBI, do you think now is a good time to ask the cop to put a scale of 0? Yes, real Jingy. That would be a great time right there. Doing the scale of how much fear, 0 to 100. How much of a threat? How much terror do you feel? Yeah, that would be the perfect time to do that. I agree wholeheartedly on that time, on that aspect. Damn, your fingers are drunk. Well, your fingers are drunk. My fingers are gonna be drunk tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. Why are you drunk now? You gotta wait till tomorrow. You're on the East Coast, so it's nighttime. It's a Friday night, so yeah, you're probably good thing. But quite interesting. And as is, I'm checking over at Discord. I don't see anybody over there, so no live calls or whatever. With the Mims case, the cop routinely pulled everyone out of the car he stopped. Yeah, that was the thing, and then I think he did justification with it. It's been it's been almost a full year since I think I've read the case law through and through. I need to sit down and read that one again at some point. And I actually need to do a live stream with that. But I first need to get down and do the hard one of the 8th Circuit. That's going to be a lengthy one. But that, yeah, as is, that's just the sheer audacity. Now, here is another thing that I sort of wanted to cover. And we're going to sort of move into the direction of Second Amendment, open carry, and stuff like that. If you want to join, Johnny No Last Name, if you want to join in and listen, sure thing, or have something to say, I'd be more than glad to have other people talking. As is, give me your opinions. If you got suggestions, go ahead and pop them out. As is, this is a night for you guys to give us suggestions. What do you think has been doing so far? How do you think strategic non-compliance is doing? Do you like the bi-weekly thing? Do you like the fact that we're got 2 different time zone areas that we sort of cover with the Wednesday and Friday streaming? Could we improve on that? Do you like the interviews? Do you like Mike being able to bring in the various people that come in and you guys get the chance to ask questions to sometimes? Or the ability to listen to the various other activists that are out there or people that are involved in various kinds of movements? I'm looking at reaching out to a few people, and I'm trying to get some interviews going too, but they're a little bit more on the difficulty side of reaching out to because they're not used to these live stream kind of things. Name of the person that can policies that violate federal and state law. We need someone new to support other than... Well, as is, politicians, they're always flaky. That's the unfortunate part. You can never throw your support 100% behind anybody. And thank you for the follow on Twitch, ClimGuy1981. Let me get the chats back up here because I had to pop up the other thing. Love it so far. That's pretty good. Now, this one is going to be someone with good intentions but giving bad advice. And this, I heard this a few days ago over on Black Coat Media. And I don't want to fault the guy. He had good intentions, but he's giving bad advice. And you're going to find out very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and play the portion here so you can hear it.
What?
I just wanted to let you know.
What's a body carrier? Tell me what that is.
The armored vests.
Nah, nobody I know no one I know is wearing an armored vest.
Well, Patrick and all them.
Got nothing to do
but
with
they're
me.
complaining about.
Got nothing to do with
well, if any of your guys want to wear that kind of junk and they can't afford it, just let them know that if they go to a supply store for chefs, they can buy the high-density polyester white cutting boards,
right?
And in a half-inch thick, they'll stop a 44 Magnum. You get the 1-inch thicks, and they'll stop a 30-06. And they're cheap. They're like $40. You can cut them with a handsaw, fit them in your backpack, fit them in whatever you want. In schools, you can make them into desks. You can put them. You can make whole doors out of them. They sell them in 4x8 sheets, just like sheetrock.
Right.
I mean, but if you can't afford that $400 sheet, then you can buy the one at the chef supply store for $40.
So I get the concept of wanting to wear.
Okay, so that sounds like a good idea. Whoops, who's the new follower? Thank you, Worm Dragon, for the follow on Twitch. Do a discussion on Contel Pro and the FBI policy investigating First Amendment activities. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and copy that and put that down in a note real fast here. I'll have to look that up at a later point, Richard Lord. But what the guy is stating, that you can use a cutting board at that you purchase, a density plastic cutting board, as something to stop bullets. Now, it probably could stop. I mean, with a 1-inch thick one, you could probably stop a .22. But the calibers he's mentioning most likely would not work. And I'm going to show you why. Now, this person got his hands on a Type 3 plastic soft body armor that it weighs about 3 pounds. These plates. But these things are put together differently than what a cutting board is. And I'm going to show you why here in a sec. Let's go ahead and watch him pull this out, and I'm going to point out a few things after we get to those points.
It's coming out the back side of the plate carrier. That's what we would expect. Looks like one of those neck massagers or back massagers. There's absolutely almost like tennis ball sized lumps. 1, 2, 3. There's probably, that's like the start of a fourth one. That was the first hit, second hit, third hit, fourth hit. But it's well padded, so that might hurt when you got hit, but you can see it barely bothered the rubber dummy. So I'm sure that's completely survivable even at that range. And here's the front side: first hit, second hit, third hit, fourth hit. Let's get into this. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see
Hold on.
how there's delamination. You can see there's a little cracking. That's how it's supposed to work. And inside, gosh, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a close-up of that. The bullets are fully contained in each of the holes. This one you can really see right there. Just you can see the back end of it. And oh, so here you can see.
All right. Now, I'm talking about a caller that was called in a few days ago on the Felipe Hemmings Black Coat Media live stream. And he was saying that you can use cutting boards for bulletproof as a cheaper version of a plate for a plate carrier. And I'm pointing out why he's wrong with the what he's got, what the advice on that. And as you can see, this is the plastic right here. Hold on, let me make sure. Is this getting... Okay, no, my mouse is not being captured. So let me fix that real fast, guys. I need to do the mouse over capture real fast. Let me check to make sure the other one is working too. Okay, cool. It's getting captured on that one. Okay, so I can hide these again. But, yes, that would hurt. The thing is right here, you can see this black thing. That is a padded stop plate that is meant to catch anything that's coming at it. That's like an extra thick kind of thing. It's sort of like, not quite steel, but it's like a board. It's very hard, and it's meant to help catch any fragmentation and stuff that might possibly get through, unless the bullet actually is strong enough to, it has enough velocity to punch through this. Yeah, that's the thing. How difficult it is to get Hemming to represent an auditor, I don't know. You'd have to talk with him about that, Kendall. New guy here, thanks for what you do, BBI. I love watching and learning. And thanks to all First Amendment auditors. Thank you, David Jones. But the thing is, the reason why this is so much different than using a cutting board, these are multiple, several, well, maybe 100 or 200 or something like that. These are sheets of plastic that are laminated over each other. This is how bulletproof glass is made. It is a sheet, a single sheet of plastic, some adhesive, and then they press down another thin sheet. And this lamination process, they do this with all kinds of armor. This is not just done with body armor, because he's got a ceramic composite that does the same thing. And with this right here, the lamination allows for better stopping capability with this. Where if you go and purchase a cutting board, there is no lamination. It is just literally a bunch of plastic poured out into a mold that you can cut and use. With this, it's done differently. And you can sort of see the edges there of the fraying of that stuff. This is a 45-second video of 45 cutting board. Okay, well, let's take a quick look at that. We'll put that in the view thing here. Paste. Let's check it out.
Okay, so this is the 1-inch thick block of polyethylene. We're going to shoot it with a 45 ball ammo first, 1/4-inch blocks, and put it behind sort of as a... Okay, right in the center. So I got a nice hole right there in the front. Moment of truth. Oh, it stopped it. Yes. Oh, awesome. Yes. All right. Okay, so it takes 45 ball ammo. Huh. Cool. Okay,
Yeah, but do you really want to just trust yourself with that, to be honest? And the thing is they're only testing, well, they test this with 45 ball ammo. It probably might stop a 9mm, but that's going to have quite a bit of weight to it. And I can guarantee you, I don't think that's going to easily fit within a bulletproof vest. And that would make it a Type 2 armor, if I think, remember correctly, or a level 2. But let's go ahead and get back onto what I'm pointing out. This is a Type 3A, I think it is. So it's able to stop short of, I think, the green tip NATO 556.
From the side, the many different layers of the UHMWPE that are laminated together with heat and pressure. And on the back side, that padding did its job it bulged, and
hey, Desert
nothing
Sentinel.
sharp is poking through or anything like that. Let's see if we can't peel this padding off and get to the back of the armor part.
Well, if you make your own custom plate carrier, or yeah, with a backpack, it might be something that you can do, Spy Team Satan. And then let's go ahead and skip to the part where he actually rips this open here.
And was twisting and using this to pry it open. Boy, that was tough. And a lot of bullet fragments. The fragments weren't whole in here. They were busted up. And you can see the pockets in here where the bullet actually kind of melted from the heat, the material. And I'm gonna have to show the ground. I'll get video of the ground, but there are pieces of bullet fragment all over. And what's interesting is we know that it contained it because there were no fragments that were even in the plate carrier itself. If there was any kind of fragmentation making it out the front side, we would have seen extra holes on the plate carrier, and we would have seen pieces of it inside the plate carrier, and that didn't happen. So despite the fact that these rounds were fully fragmented inside of the armor, they were fully contained. And you can see that is a layer right there, how thin that is. That is a layer, layer, and it all delaminated. This is what it was supposed to do. The part of this is for me ripping it apart, but you can see it's just all bonded together. And if this looks like soft armor, it is used in soft armor. In some soft armor, you can even use this to make steel, the equivalent of steel cable, UHMWPE cable, which is lighter.
Now keep in mind this is plastic, and so if it gets heated, it can be weaker than as advertised kind of thing. There's things that can compromise it, heat being one of those. And that's something you also have to keep in mind. If you just use a straight up coating board, heat will be your worst enemy, and it has a chance of weakening that kind of thing. Now, as I said, you could probably get some stopping power against a 22 if it's really thick, maybe a 9mm, 45 with that one. But 30-06, not likely. Not unless you have some sort of steel, an actual steel backing on that. Then you probably would have something with that. In which case, then you're looking at a hybrid soft hard armor kind of thing. But just keep in mind, do your research on this stuff before you go and say, hey, that's a good idea. Now, as is, do I plan on running around with cutting boards in my plate carrier? No. I'd rather go and purchase steel plates for that. But right now, I'm lucky. I've been blessed with getting my hands on some ceramic plates for my plate carrier. Henry Macau, James Wisely, Hollow is a smoking gun that proves terror events worldwide are sponsored by intelligence agencies. Interesting, Swap McGee. Watching Twitch and YouTube. Thank you for all those that are watching on both Twitch and YouTube. And let's see here. Now, let us move into something quite interesting. This was actually posted just at the end of last month. And this is by, actually by Vice News, or, wait, no, is this Vice, or just, yeah, Vice News, okay. There's a difference between Vice and Vice News, actually. Tim Pool sort of taught me on that one. And so, this is quite the interesting short clip. I'll make some comments here and there with this.
It was made by Benchmade for almost 12 years. The sales of this knife is what provides the income that allows me to spend all my time working on knife rights.
From this tiny room in a subdivision outside Phoenix, Doug Ritter runs Knife Rights, an organization dedicated to alleviating a problem you might not have known existed: oppressive knife laws.
There is no one who is proactively going around the country and working to get rid of knife bans. That's where we came in, a proactive, aggressive grassroots movement.
Knife Rights is essentially the NRA of knives, but much smaller. It's basically run by Doug and his wife, and a lobbyist.
Fighting for your rights and a sharper future for all of us.
Now, with this guy, I I want to see if I can get a chance. I'm going to try to reach out to this guy and see if we can get him in for a strategic non-compliance interview. I'm going to talk with Mike Bluehair and see how we might be able to work this out. But it's quite interesting. And the fight that he's currently in is over in New York. So let's check this out one. Teflon coating your bullets renders bulletproof vests much less effective. Yeah, and also it can poison the body. If they pierce the body, they will poison the person. Be careful on that.
Gravity knives were outlawed in New York in 1958. The classic definition of a gravity knife is that it's any knife that opens by gravity alone, like this German World War II paratrooper's blade. But the New York law also says that a knife that can be opened by centrifugal force counts as a gravity knife. That is interpreted to mean that any knife that can be opened with a single wrist flick is potentially illegal, and that a lot of New Yorkers are walking around with knives they don't even know could get them in trouble.
Gravity knife enforcement in New York City is discrimination on steroids.
Marty LaFalce is a lawyer with the Legal Aid Society.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
A public defender service in Manhattan.
6,000 people arrested every year at the height of stop and frisk. 86% of those people, black or Latino.
NRA for
post stop
knives.
and frisk, we've found that approximately 4,000 people are arrested every year for so-called gravity knife possession.
Did you know what a gravity knife was?
What a gravity knife was. I'm like,
you were thinking like which one of my knives?
Which one of the knives was a gravity knife? I'm like, I didn't know. I had no idea.
In 2014, Roderick Prude was on his way to work when, he says, he was stopped by...
Oh, Shadowboxer, you must have heard about that YouTuber who, well, that YouTube couple where the wife or girlfriend shot the boyfriend. Yeah, they tried using a really thick book to stop a Desert Eagle round, which, yeah, obviously didn't work because he died and the girlfriend is now looking at 6 months of jail. Well, is doing 6 months of jail.
Police officers, who saw his chef's knives in his backpack. Searching him, they found a folding knife that he says he used to cut boxes on the job. He was charged with possession of a gravity knife, and because of some priors, the charge was bumped up to a felony.
Now, this is the issue with New York, the state of New York. They have such strict anti-weapons laws over there. It's insane. People that do construction work that have a folding knife to work on dealing with wires or maybe to sort of scrape a little bit of wood or something like that, or deal with packaging, they're at risk. Even just the standard store clerks could be at risk with the way the law is worded. All flick and lock knives are banned in the UK. Wow. Quite interesting.
Charging me with a 3.5-inch pocket knife, and I got Chucky blades in my bag, you know? So, didn't make sense to me. For a pocket knife to have somebody's life ruined is crazy. It really is.
Every day, my colleagues and I represent clients who have been arrested for possessing knives that they've purchased at stores like Ace Hardware, AutoZone, Lowe's. And even if we can prove that our clients use the knives for work, in some cases, prosecutors still bring felony prosecutions. In the era of numbers-based policing, you see this dramatic increase in the prosecution of people who are possessing just common folding knives that are designed, marketed, and sold as work tools.
Last year, the New York State Legislature passed a law to change the gravity knife rule, but it was vetoed at the last minute by Governor Andrew Cuomo.
And here you go, showing you how a politician can screw over a decent change in laws right there. He vetoed it. It was passed by the House and Senate and all that stuff for that state, and he vetoed it.
Police groups and New York City politicians want to keep the law in place because they...
Notice who's trying to push to keep it in. Quite interesting.
Say it keeps New Yorkers safe. LaFalce and Legal Aid are now working with Knife Rights to challenge the law in court. The two organizations make for unlikely allies.
Never in a million years would I think that I would be working with a Second Amendment group on a criminal justice issue.
Doug Ritter has his own reasons for fighting the New York law. He's a knife purist. If there's a knife law, he wants it abolished. But Ritter says the...
But it gives you an idea of when it comes to your own protection and stuff like that. Simple tools can get you in trouble because the way the laws are written. And there could be outdated laws that need to be changed. And then you have people that abuse the law in order to fluff up numbers and stuff like that and want to keep it around, push their way and force it to have their thing. Banned in Canada as well, 84.1 criminal code. Let's take a quick look on that. Let's do a search. Copy and paste and search. Criminal code of Canada. That was, whoops, yeah. Oh, hold on, let me back that up. Make sure I'm looking at the, yeah, 84.15. Purpose, substance, whether a person has committed subsequent offense shall take 10 years. Part 3, firearms and other, oh, okay, so the entire 84 1 is just about weapons. Wow, there's quite a bit in here. Ammunition, firearms, crossbow, wow. Okay, yeah, this is different. Barrel length, certain weapons deemed not to be firearms. Let's take a quick look on this. For the purpose, any device designed for signaling, notify, designed to exclusively for the slaughter of domestic animals, tranquilizer intended for the person. Okay, this is dealing with just a firearm kind of thing. But yeah, it pretty much 84. The entire 84 thing is about the firearms and dealing with all that issue. Possession offense, uses offense. Let's see here. SAX posted Tyrant Alert standby for Monday, 8 a.m. Central. Ooh, that's going to be in it. Hey, Charlie Dog. Mike Bluehair is not able to make it for tonight's strategic non-compliance. He got held up with a legal meeting, and so he was not going to be back in time to do tonight's strategic non-compliance. One-Eyed Fox. My question is, why are these people allowing law enforcement to search them? That is a good question. It's because they're not educated about their rights, and then when they are and try to stand up for their rights and exercise them, they are intimidated to allow the rights to be violated or to waiver their rights. I carry a personal grooming tool and multi-tool. Either could wind me in jail. Not to mention the meds I carry. Yeah, I mean, I have a Gerber, which has a pop-out knife, and I bet you money they would try to say that is a gravity knife, even though it's part of a double, even though it's part of a multi-tool. I don't answer question black box. Okay, so that I figure I'd go ahead and cover that. Now, this next one is a recent one from just this year. No offense, but why do I feel more comfortable on BBEI's channel? Probably because I don't censor my channel. I except for the issues of maybe where there's a terms of service violation, I just don't straight up censor. I don't know how Mike Bluehair does his thing. I don't ask. That was something you have to discuss with him. But I'm very open about how my channel chat works. So some people like it, some people hate it. No, it's not for everybody. NYPD is larger than most countries' army. They own the politicians. They do what they want, except to Sean Thomas. Yes, Sean Thomas has been doing a great job over there. And he's fought many legal battles against NYPD. That guy is a beast when it comes to dealing with NYPD. Knife as a blade that opens automatically by gravity or central force by hand pressure applied to a button, spring, or other device attached to or in the handle. Let's see. Hey everybody, I'm going back to an area that I have no signal. I will probably catch this as a reply. Thank you very much. Okay. Good luck, Desert Sentinel, and stay safe out there. Open carry while black is some scary crap. He came damn close to being shot. Let's see. Must knife people agree. New York City, a non-locking bowlers than 3 inches is the only way to go. Yeah. Just watch Live PD and you'll get your answers. Yeah, Live PD is a pretty good. Well, wait. Live PD. Oh, wait, that's that TV show. That's right. Never mind. So that's not internet kind of thing. Next, we ban rocks, sticks, falling trees. Yeah. Okay. Now this one's quite interesting. This happened at the end of end of January, and there's going to be some blood rage coming from some of you. Get your medications ready. Well, blood pressure medications, squeezy balls, bleach if you need it, alcohol, all that stuff. This is gonna probably enrage quite a few of you. I've actually reached out to Carlos Dillard and tried to get him on for an interview. I haven't gotten a reply back on this. BBI trying to figure out how to do stream about Live PD. Yeah, that's well. Get with me later, One-Eyed Fox. We'll talk more about that. But with the open carrying kind of thing, this is very interesting, and this happened up in Washington.
Emmett Till and everything that's going on with our police and African Americans, that you wouldn't have to worry about white women making false police reports, and that's why we have laws in place just in case someone makes a false police report. Let me give you guys a little bit background story. Chris and I got a detail on our car on Saturday. After the detail was done, I was missing my Social Security card, a box of bullets, an extra iPhone that I had in my glove compartment. They looked like they went through and made copies of all of, like, because I had, like, all my personal information was in my glove compartment locked. And all that information was gone. And then when I went back today, they gave me some yellow bag and like, oh, we forgot to give you your bag. And it was missing my iPhone, my vape, my bullets, my Social Security card. They did have my driver's license and my insurance in there, and the remote to the TVs in my car, but everything else was missing. The video that I'm gonna post, the video clip now, is me. What happened was we went up there and I asked the young lady first, I asked her if I could see my invoice, and she's like, no. And I was like, okay. And she's like, we have other customers, we don't have time for you. And I was like, I'm not leaving until I get my receipt, until I find out who was working on my car, so I can let Groupon know, because this was through Groupon. I was like, so I can let Groupon know what happened. At that point, she called us the N-word. She says, I'm telling you niggers to get the fuck out of my store. At that point, I had Christopher call the police, and I'll put up a screenshot of when Christopher called the police. 11 minutes later, we're still waiting for the police, and oh, I'll let you guys know, I carry my firearm. You guys should know, you guys all know, I believe in my Second Amendment rights of carrying my firearm. I'm a registered concealed weapons license holder. I'm legally able to carry my gun, exposed or concealed. She calls the police after we called the police. And I heard her say, because she was going towards the back of the store, and she goes, there's 2 black men with a gun. I told Chris, I said, call the police back. And this is the second 911 call, you guys can see. I said, call the police back, because I think she's making a false police report, because we weren't doing any of that. Like, my gun was still on my hip. Why were you even looking at if I had a gun? I can legally carry a gun in America. If it's not a fucking school or a public office or like a courthouse, I can carry my gun, unless it specifically says on there that I cannot carry my gun in that institution. What follows? This is what followed. This is fucking what followed. This is why we have problems with police. It's not that you guys are racist. It's not that the police are racist. It's the people who are calling the police. Just like what happened with Emmett Till and how he got fucking lynched off of a white woman lying about how he raped her, and that was complete false. Caucasian people and white people are using police as a tool of oppression. We've all known this for years. But now the difference is...
Now, I'm going to mention here a disagreement with this person's statement here. It's not just against minorities. If you're a Second Amendment activist, we've seen this before, where people will try to call the police to say, this person was out doing a threatening thing. They're armed or whatever. They try to get people shot. And it can happen in other situations. We've also seen people with the whole live stream SWAT issue, where people will call up the cops and send the SWAT team after someone that's live streaming that they don't like, either as a joke, or they think it's funny, or they just want to do some online some form of trolling that impacts real life to some extent. And we've already seen that get one person killed. It's not just done because you're a minority. It's done because people want to have power and be able to cause potential harm to you or inflict some sort of mental torture.
Niggas like myself are starting to be educated, we're starting to know our rights, and we're starting to record everything.
And this is why we're out there. This is why we're getting people educated so they can stand up for themselves and better defend themselves in these situations. But as is, the reason why I'm letting this part go is because you need to have a context of what caused the police to show up beforehand.
Let me, guys, after knowing that story, do you think that this was appropriate, what they did to me? Do you think that that was appropriate? And the only reason they responded like this is because they told me that they got a call saying that there were 2 black men with guns waving them around and threatening people. You can see how I'm talking to the guy calmly at the beginning of the video. You can see me trying to explain to him what's happening to my car. Watch the video. Watch how I get treated as a fucking black person.
Alright, so we got the basic laydown here. Let's go ahead and get started with the police interaction here. And yeah, I remember that the hotel thing, man. That I had to stop watching, and I was really pissed off. A lot of people were. Texas Sheepdog getting by. Yeah. Check out Sexy Prez latest. Texas Sheepdog getting violated again. Yeah, Texas Sheepdog and Sexy Prez. They have some big stuff coming up here soon for you guys. It's gonna get interesting.
So they brought the AR-15s out again.
It's okay. Get them on the recording. Hi, officer. Get this on recording, Chris. I am an armed man. I do have my arm on me. No one's being threatened. No one has been threatened. My name is Carlos Diller. Why are you coming up to me with AK-47? Why are you coming up to me with guns? My gun's on my hip. I will not take my gun off of my hip. I will not take my gun off my hip. I have my Second Amendment right to carry my gun. And my wallet right here. Take my wallet. Turn those headlights off. My wallet. I will not turn my back on white officers.
Also, while they're telling him to come over, they're yelling at some guy in the garage over here to turn off their headlights.
I am not going to turn my back with you guys, with your guns drawn. I have not committed any law. Put your guns down, sir. And I'm not going up there with your gun in my back. Because y'all going to get scared, you're going to shoot me in the back. What? Under what law? What law have I broken? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? I'm being detained? Under what circumstances? Under what circumstances? I called the police. I called you here. I know. Where am I? I'm being detained? I'm being detained. Okay, here you go. Chris, get this.
Sir, you can continue recording, but step over to your left.
Chris, get everything.
Hey, sir. I'm Officer John to the Seattle Police Department. You're making an audio video recording, okay?
Am I going to get shot in the fucking back?
No. How are you involved in this?
He's my husband.
He's your husband?
This is the second time this month this is happening.
You see how you're being recorded?
This is the second time. Why am I being detained?
They stole from our car.
Answer my question.
We brought our weapon because we didn't know what was going to happen. He has his concealed weapons license, so he can open carry whenever he wants to open carry. They stole from our car. We came to speak to the manager to get some resolution now. The white lady in there called the police saying that we had a gun and that she probably felt threatened. And then here you guys are now. Sounds about right? That's the story you got?
That's about what I know.
That's about the story you got, yeah. But they stole from my car and she got some type of way because this is our car here. We were here Saturday. They stole his social security card, a box of bullets, a bag of antique coins, and an iPhone outside of my glove compartment that was locked.
Okay.
We came to get the people's name and information that we're here. And then the white lady calls the police because of this happening. So, and all my shit's been stolen. Now I'm still having to explain to the police all this stuff because she felt like she was being fighted against. And that's not fair.
You want it?
Wait, I sort of missed that. What was it? Investigate why she said I was trying to kill her. See, you can see that she filed a false police report right there.
You know, the last opportunity I had was a black male who had his house broken in. He came out into the street all excited, and he had a gun, not even a full waistband.
But you guys get an idea. He did a pretty good job standing up for his rights. I hopefully, hey, Carlos, if you have a chance to respond back to me, I would love to have an interview specifically about this. But there's also some interesting news in this. 2 days ago, he's update. Derek, the owner, has agreed to do a video with me. I want to show you how you can turn a negative situation into a positive outcome and educate people. So hopefully there'll be some good news coming out. I haven't seen any actual video that's been released on this his channel about this. But this is not over. There is more with Carlos Dillard. And this one is probably going to make the most rage right here. This one's police brutality in my home. Also, honest thing, this was published February 2nd. This video is graphic and shows just how police treat not only us but blacks in America. We had guns drawn on us Monday by the police department based off of a lie. They couldn't arrest anyone, and now days later they came to my home because they said they got a phone call and assaulted my husband. They snatched him from the doorway and bruised my arm. They told me to stop resisting, but it's hard to resist when the police have their knees on your back and neck. Now, there's no audio with this one. Hold on, let me, okay, here we go. This is from a security camera. Skip to here. Here we go. Yeah, it seems to me it was straight up retaliation in some way. This is this happened in Washington somewhere. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised the dog didn't actually get shot, because that sort of happens in these kinds of incidences. But yeah, the links and citations are in the my YouTube description. Mike Bluehair will have those citations when he has a chance to deal with the whole strategic non-compliance editing that he does. So you guys on Mike Bluehair's channel side of things will be able to do that. Let's see here, but quite the frustrating thing. Yeah, I'm glad these guys document everything that when they're dealing with the police. Well, even when with the mechanic shop there. Does everyone know not to open your door now? Well, we don't exactly know what caused him to open the door. You could have thought someone else was at the door, not the police or something like that. It could be ignorance. It could be just concern. They thought maybe they're there to do a follow-up follow-up interview, maybe, or give them new information. Remember, they just were dealing with a mechanic shop a few days prior that stole from them, according to their statements. And so they might have been expecting the police to show up to talk with them at some point, to do a follow-up interview or something like that. Yeah, it's really sad when the dog is trying to do their job of protecting their owners and stuff like that. If the cops have a warrant, they'll just kick your door in under no obligation to answer the door. That is very true. Well, actually, there is an exception. Extringent circumstances. CSO B007. I'll just refer to you as 007. The police could have broken the door down. Yeah, that is true. And also underneath extringent circumstances, they would have been able to break down the door too. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And if you remember, I tried walking away from the cops in Springfield, and I got pounced too. So you guys, yeah, it's quite the interesting telling situation that they're going through, and hopefully the things go a lot better. Still, never open the door. No, I understand on that part. So, what do you guys think of tonight's show? Was it entertaining or educational? Got a better understanding? Let me check over at Discord. Oh, no one popped into Discord there. And as is, I probably will go ahead and end this here in about 10 minutes. So, any further comments? How we're doing? Is this good? Is it better? And as is, we'll do, they pounced you like you were Homer Simpson. That was good. Crash Bandicoot. The Crash the Bandicoot. Oh, man. No, they pounced me like Homer Simpson with a box of donuts. How about that one? There is no information beyond that in that specific video. So I'm not seeing anything else that tells more about that situation. So we have what's there is what we got. I like the show. Non-fun fact: police shoot a dog every. Shadowboxer, I hope you got a citation for that one. That's a curious thing. Bunny Boots for president. I don't think I would have the rest of the mainstream people voting for me for president. Then again, I mean, Donald Trump did get in there. So maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance. And maybe like 10, 20 years, I'll have a chance to become president. How about that? Or I'll be a really old president kind of thing. I'll be like in my 80s and I'll run for president and get in there. That could be a possibility. Did you say donuts? Yes, I love donuts. You know what? I should go to the store and pick up some donuts. I haven't had donuts in like 2-3 months. BBI, I can't use my webcam to live stream because I have a really slow internet. Oh, that sucks. Actually, pissed off taxpayer, I gotta talk with you maybe sometime this weekend if I'm not out, maybe on Sunday. There's ways around that. The whole Alaska would vote for you. I think that's a possibility. Yeah, that's a possibility. When BBI is visiting Mississippi for a group, I would love to come down over to Mississippi. I would love. Too much right now for me to go live on Discord. That's understandable, Johnny No Last Name. I'm not expecting anybody to hop on. I'm not forcing anybody. That's a 1 mil dog year. 1 million dogs a year. Holy cow. Yeah, that seems pretty high. I would love to get a follow-ups on all of it. Yeah, I would love to. As I said, I have reached out to this person and tried to have a chance to have them come back, or maybe I'll have a chance to maybe do an interview with them, and then do it as part of a strategic non-compliance, me and Mike Blue Hair, because that is quite the interesting. Canada could use a new prime minister. Yeah, but I'm not a Canadian citizen, so I can't really do much on that. Fix it, pot. I'm having pot withdrawals. Get the White House at 80s. Gets in the White House, dies of a heart attack due to excitement. Yeah, that's a possibility. You never know. Be the first president to be killed over in office while having a heart attack. Yeah, that is very true. As we've been seeing, anti-establishment candidates have been, as the years have been going on, have been increasing in strength on the voter thing, and Donald Trump might be the that precipice of that. But we could see that shift back around. It's hard to say. Ban politicians. They cause taxes, wars, and death. Well, lawyers do that too. Don't forget. So keep that in mind. I have OBS all set up and connected. Yeah, as I said, if your internet's too slow, there's a way of fixing it up with OBS where it will meet that threshold. But it takes some finagling. It takes some finesse. I'm impartial on the Krispy Kreme. I prefer like the Carr, Safeway, Albertson donuts. Those are because the bread is generally, it's got a crispy kind of thing. It's soft on the inside, and they throw on a little bit of frosting, and it doesn't like make it mushy or anything like that. They do their donuts really well. I like the way they do it. Krispy Kreme's, so what does Discord do? Discord is like Skype, except it doesn't eat your bandwidth up. And on top of that, I can set up individual chat rooms in the server I have set up. Discord's like a mixture of Skype and TeamSpeak, and it's free. There's voice chat, there's video chat, there's conferencing kind of stuff you can do. There's screen sharing. I do have a basic tutorial on my channel for how to get into Discord, if you guys want to check that out. And I might as well go ahead and bring up the thing here. There we go. I'm going to fix this real fast. And I'll hide this. There we go. Anti-lawyers is what we need in Washington. Lawyers have infiltrated the entire government in violation against separation of powers. Don't forget, I'm trying to become a lawyer. So, yeah. But I'm in it for different reasons. So, make your own donuts. Get those pretty sturdy. Well, that might be part of the content expansion. How should I put it? I love doing deep frying my own little potatoes and stuff like that. I go to the store, I buy the bag of like not diced, but cut up potato wedges, and for breakfast I eat those like maybe twice a day. They're so good. I cook them up like French fries, where they're nice and crispy, have a lot of ketchup, and there you go. It's cheap too, fairly cheap. A lot of calories too, and you get a decent amount of vitamins out of it. Put in a link. I must be referring to someone else there. Oh, there is. If you're Black Box, if you're referring to my Discord, the link's in the YouTube description. If you're on Twitch, it is on the Twitch, and I think it's also on the Mixer thing. The only one that's left out is Periscope, but that's because there's very little room to add stuff in. What we need in Washington is you, Bunny Boots. I don't... who knows? Deep frying, I can hear BBR's arteries hardening as we speak. I use vegetable oil, so that's not necessarily clogging up my arteries. It's saturated fat that does the artery clogging. Keep that in mind. And so I'm not really doing like high saturated fats on that issue. It's still fairly healthy. Coalition against coalitions. But I'm glad you guys had a fun Friday night hanging out with me. I know I definitely need to get ready. I gotta still finish picking out what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. And I gotta figure out my plan of action for bar hopping on St. Patrick's Day. Man, there's gonna be a lot of drinking, I suspect. I'm eating cottage cheese right now. I'm not a cottage cheese person. It's okay to be a lawyer, just don't become a politician after and think you know what's better for us than we do based on 5 years of law school. No, how should I put it? I'm fairly independent-minded. I don't want to push new laws that are not needed, especially when laws that are perfectly good are not being used in force. False detainment, false arrest, drop charges, $5,000 fine for arresting officer. That would be pretty interesting. Justice Department official statement, 2012 interview for Police Magazine. Up to 30 dogs were killed every day by law enforcement. Wow. I'm surprised this goes so underreported. Don't forget our date. Don't worry, we'll talk Crash the Bandicoot, so... Get an air fryer so you can live forever. Well, I might do that. I heard there might be some cheap ones over at a store not too far from here, so I'll check that out. Just found out having high cholesterol and need to change my diet. Yeah, how should I put it, pissed off taxpayer? Figure out what's the issue with the diet and then just try to change it up a bit. Oh, that would be quite the change of channel name right there. I get a good chuckle out of that. Cooking with Bunny Boots and Mike Blue Hair bonus content. We'll see about that. We'll see. That might be a thing. As I said, with Bunny Boots Inc., I'm doing content expansion. I'm going to be doing more IRL stuff, and that is sort of to generate new kinds of content, bring in a different kind of audience on top of what I got right now. And it builds up more eyes on the general movement itself when I do the First Amendment stuff. And on top of that, it brings in another revenue stream and keeps me from building up too many criminal cases, well, legal cases, not criminal cases, legal cases that I don't want to overwhelm myself. BBI, I think constitutional lawyer may be a good idea in this day and age. Yep. In this day and age, we need more constitutional lawyers to defend those that are being oppressed. Doc says if it's spit that tastes good, spit it out. Yeah, but I'll think about doing some like cooking live streams in the near future and stuff like that. Oh, I got a really fun idea. I'm probably gonna get something figured out with the. I try not to spoil it. Let's just say it's going to be a really long stream. I've got to figure out some waterproofing, and I got to see how well the cell coverage is. Thanks for all the help with my channel. All my eyes are rolling around in my head. Head time for bed, 2:30 in the morning. That's very understandable, and it is 7:31 my time frame. Content expansion. Oh boy, do we have to pay $50 for... No, I'm not gonna force you to buy expansions. In fact, I'm gonna do a separate live stream and all that stuff. But as is, I'm gonna do the final spiel. We have been doing strategic non-compliance. You can catch Mike Blue Hair over on Mike Blue Hair's channel. Don't forget he has a link over there for Steam It. Catch it, upvote him. Support him on Steam It. He does really enjoy pushing Steam It. I'm still waiting for my damn account. Steam It, come on, get back to me. And as is for my stuff, you can catch me doing live stream content on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Mixer. If something happens during a live stream, be able to know that those three are, well, those other three will be an option. You can quickly hop over and make sure stuff's going. And as is, also, you can always check out and join me on Discord. Thank you guys for tuning in. As is, Strategic Non-Compliance is twice a week. Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time frame, and Fridays 6 p.m. Pacific time frame. Thank you all for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream out. thank you all for joining us for another Strategic Non-Compliance, and we'll see what Mike Bluehair has up his sleeve for next week's interview and all that stuff if he's able to drag a guest on. Go to Europe. Thank you, Crash Bandicoot. That is good laughs right there. All right, good night, everyone.